G'day everyone and welcome back to Tom's Brook Farm. So last night was a good night for George. He got through the whole night without any issues. Did start the shift off with an issue. They noticed a few broken bolts on the steering rams. I'll have to show you guys that when I'm near the cedar. But yes, no, we're on to our last paddock now. So it's of canola, that is. So we've got about 230 hectares or 50 hectares to go to finish canola, and then we'll be switching on to barley. So Henry's going to start coming under pressure now. George had a lot of fun last night in this paddock here. He did this little piece here. I think he got about 4,000 blocks. You just see on AgriTrack just lots of little swirls of where he was going round and round and round. But yeah, other than that, I'm going to go and fill up Wally and get this back down to the paddock here. So this is all ready to roll. And then we'll go out the back, have a look at Dad doing some mouse spreading. So let's get into it. Wally's all full and ready to roll to the paddock. What I am going to do though is Dad's got, I don't know, maybe another 200 kilos, so 200 hectares left on board of the mouse baits. I'm going to grab another one and chuck it into this middle bin here, because obviously we don't use it and it saves Dad driving all the way back here to load. So I'll chuck some mouse baits in here and then I'll take that off, and then we can load with the auger into the spreader, which just speeds us up that much better. Back down to the paddock. So now what I'm going to do is take that snorkel off, and then that way when Dad comes in, when he needs a fill, it'll all be ready for him. And I might roll the tarp. It doesn't look like it's going to rain, but it's got that like little feeling about, you know, some little mist might come through. And yeah, better just to be safe than sorry. I don't really want to have the fertiliser get wet, even if it's only a little bit, because then it creates issues in the cedar. Levi's just finished the first outside lap, so he's just pulled up there. He's doing a seed check just to make sure everything's still working and coming out, ready to go for his next 2 laps. Dad's spreading looks to be going nicely. So I thought I'd show you a mouse hole in the wild. So there's one just here, and I know I found him because as I was driving around I watched the mouse run straight in there. My guess is there's probably another one under here that just hasn't dug his hole up. So what they do, and the reason we need a spread, is they'll just go along and essentially they just go along and they'll just dig up there, eat the canola, 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 and yeah, you just end up with a huge area that's just been wiped out by mice. So we spread. So I've got another mouse hole just here, and there's one just over there, there's one over there. So they're everywhere. And it was a good idea to go roll that tarp. I got my vest on because we had some mist just come in just before. So yeah, at least I don't have wet fertilizer, which is nice. Just as I'm driving along, it's once you get your eye, and it's quite easy to spot them. There's another big hole just here. Yeah, they are everywhere. George wasn't lying when he said that they would have been running through his feet. So yeah, definitely worthwhile us being out here and spreading for them. Yeah, when you got them in a huge number, they just wipe your crop out. You guys on the drone footage would have noticed that beautiful crisscross pattern that we've got going. So Dad is obviously back on our tram lines, and yeah, the reason the crisscross is, again, we see the canola on the 30-degree angle. If you're curious about that, go watch the when we started seeding video. I explained that in detail there. But our controlled traffic, so we yeah, everything is on 3 meter centers. So that's the wheel tracks are all on 3 meters, apart from the actual seeding tractor. That was 2.4, and I think the chaser bin that goes behind that is also about that 2.4. Everything else is on 3 meters, so we get everything to run on the exact same spot as much as we can. So we use the seeder as I guess the anchor you'd call it. Like, that's the one we go off. So the seeder is 24.4 meters or 80 foot. We then have the header, which is 12.2 meters or 40 foot. We have the boom spray, which is 48.8 meters or 160 foot. The spreader does a variety. So at the moment, Dad is on the 24.4. We go down to 12.2 when we're doing our gypsum and lime, and we go out to our 36.6 or 120 foot when we are doing urea spreading in crop. So like I said, the seeder is our anchor, so the seeder doesn't need to do any adjusting. The header and the spreaders, the spreader and the boom spray do. So they do their outside lap, and then the second lap they need to do half of their width, and then that gets them lining up onto the air seeders track, and then everything then after that is on the exact same tracks. And we've noticed a massive difference from going to controlled traffic. It's been better for us, especially with our soil. We aren't crazy CTF, so we do the chaser bins when we never used to have long enough augers, so the chaser bin used to have to come off the tram and unload the header, then back onto the tram. Now we do have long enough augers, so that reaches the tram line, so it's brilliant. But yeah, now like when the chaser bin wants to go from one header to another, you know, we allow it to turn in the paddock and get to it. It's just so much easier and not a nightmare for things like that. Things like when you got blocks on the air seeder, you know, you need to turn, so you know it's a lot of compaction when you're turning, but you know you can't get out there and shovel it by hand. It just won't work. So yeah, we're controlled traffic, but you know we're not vigilant on how we do it. I definitely don't like to see chasers drive over 5 or 6 tracks to try and get to something. They, the max will go is over 3, but everything, we try and keep everything as much as we can to the tram lines, and yeah, so that's why in that drone footage, Dad is now on our trams, and yeah, you get that beautiful crisscross pattern. The other thing you might have noticed on the drone footage is when I was doing the bird's eye looking at the mat of the spreader, is that it's not a consistent stream that's going along that mat, and that's just the way that it's falling off the the main centre mat, and it's not too much of an issue. It's happening because we're only going 1 kilo a hectare, so it's just such a little rate, but it's not too much of an issue because mice, they forage for everything. They they go away from their hole, and they've been documented of going quite distances to find food. So as long as there's that food on the ground, they'll travel to it and they'll eat it, and yeah, they'll get sick. So yeah, it's not an issue that it's not a consistent stream on the spreader. I'm back down in the paddock that we started in. I thought I'd come have a look, see how our canola is getting on, and it's up. So one there, 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 there. There's one up here. Where else did I see them? They're all coming up, which is very nice. And I've got my mice sniffers here to see if they see anything down here, but we didn't notice mice activity in this paddock. So yeah, we shouldn't be needing to spread down here. But yeah, no, it's fantastic to see that the canola is already up and out of the ground and germinating. So yeah, oh look, there's another one. Another one. Just seeding into that little bit of moisture has yeah, been very nice. Go for a bit of a walk around here and just check to make sure that the canola that is coming up isn't getting attacked by any bugs. Yeah, good news. So for anyone wondering depth, this is about where they are. So around that 15 to 20 mil mark, and you can see just scraping away the surface. We've still got nice moisture there. We haven't had any rain or anything since we seeded this, but that's still the moisture from when we seeded. So yeah, they're all slowly coming up. We've got one there, this one was here, and there's one up there, one there coming through. I know you guys probably think I'm just pointing at something and just quickly showing the camera, not letting you focus on it, but they are there. Look, I'll prove it. There we go, that was that one, and this guy here has just come through. So I just pulled up, Levi just had a few blocks, and those bolts that broke last night, but this one here, that one back there, and then the one on the other side there. So yeah, they broke, but yeah, Levi's just finished his second lap, did his seat check, yeah, and had 4 blocks, so he's got them all sorted. Now he's going to get rolling on his 3rd outside lap. So by early afternoon he'll finally be on his straights, which will be nice. Dad's coming in for a fill now for the mouse baits. Being able to bring this to the paddock just makes it a lot quicker. So we're just adding in another bulk bag, which is 500 kilos, so it's 500 hectares. Dad still had about 100 left on board, but we figured we'd fill it now, so he's done 400 hectares, which is good. It's nice when you're only doing 1 kilo a hectare. It doesn't take you, I mean, the opposite. You can do so much in such little time because you're going such a little rate, having to come back, fill up the whole time. So it's very handy. And by the look of that, I think we are nearly out. And with that, Dad is all loaded in about 5 minutes, compared to if he had to go back to the shed, and by the time he got back down here it'd be an hour easily. Levi has finished the outside laps and he's just started now on his up and backs. So he did have a few blocks. Let's see if you guys can see on here. All right, so you had a few blocks as you go around. So quite a few as he was going. And then this was George last night. I forgot to show you guys. Yeah, you can see all those where he was turning basically for blocked runs. Not ideal, but at least George will have a smooth sailing tonight once, yeah, because all those outside laps are done. I got one wrap bag with me and we are about to fill up Levi. Perfect. So having a bit of issue with our remote, similar to what happened to George the other night, except for his, he couldn't get the remote to work at all, and now all I can get is the auger to go slow. Need it to go a bit faster than what it is, and it also can't get into reverse. Does that help? Hey Levi! It had turned off. How long has it been like that? No, it's alright. Like you can hear them if they're full.
Yeah.
Well, actually, if I put fans on now, oops. There's no seed going through, so it's alright. Yeah, as soon as he put that bank in, the auger started itself up.
Right.
So
I must have bumped it when I.
Must have bumped it, yeah, when you hopped out.
I don't know really.
Because
it has been on.
yeah.
Like, I don't know what the go.
Well, if your fans aren't on, you wouldn't have been able to see because it comes up red.
I see your house from here.
No, our house is over there.
Oh,
well, it's working. There you go. Instead of it being a big issue like I thought it was going to be, it was just one of the hydraulic banks had accidentally been turned off or something. So the auger now goes forward, stops and reverses. Obviously when I was doing it before, I only had the one hydraulic flow going to it, and it needs both. So this is the auger fix that I was saying wasn't ideal, and it's going to rip again. Nowhere near ideal. We're going to need to get a new one. The reason being, because we took off that much when it broke, it's now too short. So I'm having to use the Milwaukee blower to hold it out, otherwise it'd be shooting everywhere. good job. Keep it up. You're doing good. Hey, what's this? You missed some. Anyhow, look at that. In there, look.
I'm doing it!
Hey, focus on the job, miss. Alright, Levi is full, so we're going to go back now and fill this up, but we're only going to fill up the egg flow. By my calculations, which I hope they're correct, we don't need any more urea. So I'm going to not fill the urea, and I need to empty the urea out so that we've got that free for barley seed tomorrow. Because yeah, we're going to switch on to barley tomorrow, so that'll be exciting. That'll be in the next video when we get onto that. But yeah, we're finally going to be finished canola. George should finish it tonight. So you have the best laid plans out on how everything's going to work, and then something just throws a spanner in the works. So I was going to get back here and empty the urea and then clean that out, and then fill it with a bit of Ag Star, get it down to the paddock. But instead, Wally has decided to, you hear that? Flat tyre. So as I was driving back, the truck was getting a bit wobbly, and then every time, obviously, that was on the bottom, it was opening up and going tsk, 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 tsk. So we got it back here. Just going to go and see if I got a rim. I don't think so. So, well, we could be lucky, but maybe not. And if we don't, then either Dad or myself will be shooting into town to get this repaired. So I've got this for tonight. I've got nothing in the shed for a spare tyre. I do have a spare tyre. It is that one that has been waiting there for quite a while to go and get fixed. So our slackness has bitten us in the ass, and yeah, now I've got to get this off, and then yeah, we've got to get it to town. Oh. So I'm put the tyre down because the 3/4 inch rattle gun is actually in the tractor, so I have to use this, and as you probably just saw, the tyre just spun freely. So I'll crack them all and then jack it back up, and then I should be sweet to get it all. So no, start it up? No. That's all right, start it up. What I'm doing here, because it's a split rim, you gotta whack the catches off, because they can be locked on at such high pressure. If you just unwind the whole nut without taking them off, and then you go to take it off, you could potentially lose something. So Dad is going to head to town, and the ECTM is going to stay open. We'll get that fixed and back on. All in a day's work. There goes Dad with the tyre. So we probably won't see him till around about 8 o'clock, and for reference it's 4:24. Okay, I'm going to grab Bill so I can go and get my ute. Bill's just here. And I'll go and close some shed doors or something like that. My plan's all ruined for this afternoon, but oh well. We'll have to do it tomorrow morning. Well, I might not be able to clean this out like I intended and have it ready for tomorrow, but I can get this snorkel back on. It's only a 5-minute job, but at least that's done and we're not doing that tomorrow. So let's put that on. Done. And I've even got a carawong singing to me. So we're just on the way down to Henry's ute. He's just finished off spraying. So in the past 3 days?
Yep, 3 days.
How many hectares he done?
Nearly 1,500.
And how many did you do today?
650.
just a small feat. So I had to get out in front and do the knockdown on the barley country. So tomorrow we should be starting the barley. So he's got to do the spray in front of that. So in 3 days to get that done is a awesome feat. So we're just coming to the paddock now to do a shift change, and you can see on AgriTrack there we've got 121 hectares to go. So George should be able to nail that tonight, I'd hope. If not, it'll be early tomorrow morning with Levi, but yeah, we should get it all done. And Dad is currently on his way out from town. So should see him about half an hour, 40 minutes, and we'll be able to chuck this tyre on. George is all sorted, ready to roll. Those with the keen eye would have noticed that those bags were the Bandit. Yeah, we've run out of our T4510, which I knew was going to happen. So we end up with maybe about 70 hectares that will be going into Bandit in this paddock. Dad made a very good time. Currently 7:20. Guys at the tyre shop got it all done. Now we've got to chuck it on. Rightio, finally underway, loaded, ready to get this down, all put up. Nice new tyre on there at least. So that's good, I suppose. But anyway, time to get this down for George so he can fill up tonight. And I reckon I'll leave the video there. See you in the next one.